The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game is always changing to make your duels the best they can be. Here's what's changing as we enter the next era of Yu-Gi-Oh! There are two major changes you should know about. First, the layout of the duel field is changing, and second, there are new monsters called Link Monsters. First, let's take a look at the new and improved duel field. Here it is! The biggest change is the extra monster zones, which are the two new zones in the center of the mat. Monsters that are special summoned from the extra deck are summoned to these zones. If both extra monster zones are empty, you get to choose which one you want to use when you special summon from your extra deck. So if you special summon a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Pendulum monster from your extra deck, you summon it in the extra monster zone. Normally, you are only allowed to use one of the extra monster zones at a time, but that doesn't mean you can only control one monster that you special summoned from the extra deck. There's a new kind of monster that can let you special summon monsters from your extra deck to your main monster zones, and they're called Link Monsters. What are Link Monsters? Link Monsters start the duel in your extra deck. The red arrows are called Link Arrows. Link Monsters apply special effects to the cards and zones their Link Arrows point to. Link Monsters have no level or rank. They also don't have defense points and can never be in defense position or face down. Let's see a Link Monster in action. Normally, if you already have a monster in your extra monster zone, you wouldn't be able to special summon any more monsters from your extra deck. But if you have a Link Monster, you can special summon monsters from your extra deck to your main monster zones that its Link Arrows point to. If you special summon another Link Monster to one of the main monster zones that a Link Arrow points to, you can unlock even more zones to special summon more extra deck monsters. Using Link Monsters will help you to summon many powerful boss monsters and defeat your opponent. Summoning a Link Monster from your extra deck is called a Link Summon. Link Summons send face-up monsters from your field to the graveyard as Link materials to summon a Link Monster from the extra deck. Each Link Monster has a Link rating that tells you how many Link materials you need to send to the graveyard to Link Summon it. Each Link Monster tells you what kind of monsters you need to use as the Link materials. You can only use monsters that meet the specifications. Decode Talker is a Link 3 monster, so it requires 3 Link materials. It also says you need to use 2+ effect monsters to summon it. That means that all of the monsters you use as Link materials must be effect monsters. And even if you use monsters that count as more than 1 Link material, you can never send fewer than 2 monsters to the graveyard to Link Summon Decode Talker. Now, let's try Link Summoning Decode Talker. If you use a Link Monster as a Link material, you can choose to count it as more than 1 Link material. If you do, use its Link rating instead of 1 when you're counting up your Link materials. Let's say you have Honeybot and Link Slayer on your field, and you want to Link Summon Decode Talker. Honeybot is a Link 2 monster, so you can count it as 2 Link materials. That means you only need 1 more effect monster to reach the 3 Link materials required to Link Summon Decode Talker. So with Honeybot counting as 2 Link materials, you can send it and Link Slayer to the graveyard to Link Summon Decode Talker. The Pendulum Zones have also been moved in the new duel field. The Pendulum Zones are now integrated into the leftmost and rightmost spell and trap zones. You can still only have a maximum of 5 cards in your spell and trap zones. So don't forget that if you're planning to Pendulum Summon. These are all the major changes to the official rules of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Now that you know what's new and different, it's time to duel!